to start a fire with nothing more than a spark.
Okay, I'm going to show you the materials you're going to need to make this fire. We're looking for small twigs like this. We're just going to start snapping these twigs off. And what you're going to need is you need a couple really big handfuls of small twigs like this. After you've gathered 2 good-sized handfuls, this is a handful, 2 good-sized handfuls of small stuff, then we're going to get the next size up. Next thing you're going to need is small twigs, about the size of your finger, maybe your pinky. A couple of feet long, maybe 1.5 feet, 16 inches. And we're going to need a couple good-sized handfuls of this. And you notice that I'm breaking it off of the tree because I want dry materials. I don't want anything that is wet, it's been sitting on the ground. Much harder, especially with your kindling. Some of your bigger stuff, it's not a big deal. But with your small stuff, make sure it's off of the tree. If it's good and dry, it breaks off easy. Much easier to light your fire. Okay, after you've gathered your small kindling, this is a good size amount. This is a couple handfuls. On to the next. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to pick up stuff maybe the size of a couple of our thumb size or like the size of our wrist. And just, you need to get a good armload of this. And this you can pick up on the ground because it doesn't matter if it's a little bit wet. This is about how much you need to start out with. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go around and find the nice fluffy tinder. Usually grass, dried grass, sometimes old man's beard, and I'll show you what that is. Nice dry grass. That's the first thing we need for our dry tinder. Nice fluffy tinder. Okay, the next thing we need is old man's beard. This is old man's beard. It's actually lichen. Sometimes deer will eat it up in the high country. But it will catch a spark wonderfully well. And it's usually on the north side of the tree. This is a good sized handful of your tinder, and you want the nice, thin, fluffy stuff. It's got the grass, the dead grass, and the old man's beard. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to rough it up. And just twist it and turn it and try to get it even broken down even smaller. Now just kind of take that and just kind of massage it into sort of a little bundle. After you get that, set it aside. I'll show you the next step. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to clear the ground. You got to get rid of all these pine needles, pine cones, little bits of twig. You don't want a forest fire. So clear the ground. This is key to making sure that we're not going to start a forest fire. After you get the ground nice and clear, no twigs, no nothing in the way, then we're going to make a platform of our large size pieces. Got a stack, just start taking them and setting them out. What this does is provides air to be able to get at the fire. It also provides fuel for the bottom of the fire. And also, if this was the dead of winter and I was actually doing this on snow, this is the difference between making a fire and not making a fire in cold and snowy weather. Even right now, on a day like today, it's cold out right now, and the ground is cold and wet, the wood is dry and warm. Now, we've got everything in arm's reach. We've got our tinder bundle, we've got our small twigs, we've got a little bit larger kindling, and then we have our large pieces. Okay, what we're going to use today to start this fire is a magnesium fire striker, and I keep it in my pocket on a piece of parachute cord with a quick release, so it's always accessible. This is what it looks like. I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use my God's Woodsman's knife. Take the back of your knife against the magnesium and press down. and it creates white hot sparks. After you've added your tinder bundle, just kind of break it open, get to the nice dry stuff in the inside. Now, take your God's Woodsman's knife and your striker, stick it down inside the material. Okay, after you have flames coming out of the top, take your small stuff, stick it right on top. Don't just drop it on top of it. As soon as you have flames coming out of the top, add the rest of your tinder. Put your knife back safely in its sheath and your striker back in your pocket. When you get the fire to this point, add your small stuff about the size of the index finger. Because my preparation was done properly, you can just drop it on. Once you get flames out of the top, you can start one by one adding wrist size. If it needs a little bit of encouragement, blow on it. And that's how to make a fire properly using only a spark. After the fire burns down a bit, I figured since I already had it started, I might as well make me a nice cup of pine needle tea. All you need, some kind of a cup or pot, something, handful of pine needles, and water. Stick it right in on the fire. Pine needle tea is awesome, especially with a little bit of sugar. Got more vitamin C than orange juice. Thanks for watching. For more videos like this, please subscribe, like, and share my videos. If you have any ideas for future videos, leave a comment.